Good evening, and thank you all for coming in. I don't know what they told you, but we'll do our best to live up to the expectations. With me are my colleagues Jake from Imperial, May from King's, and I'm Arvind from UCL. And what we propose to do today is to just give you a brief introduction to what are some of the benefits for a student to study in a city like London. And then we'll take you through some of the pointers that you need to keep in mind when you're looking to apply to UK universities. We'll touch upon some of the entrance exams and the tests that are there. We'll also look at the new personal statement. UCAS has just complicated it a tad bit, but we can help you navigate that. And then we'll briefly introduce our institutions, and we will go away to separate spaces, and you could come to us for a one-to-one meeting or a group chat and so forth. So without much ado, I'm going to hand it over to May, who's going to tell us what a fantastic place London is. May, all yours.
Hello, good evening. Hi, nice to see you all, and thank you so much for coming and joining us today. So I'd like to touch upon a little bit about So while we believe London is the best place to study and also live in, actually, London has been voted the best student city in the world for 6 consecutive years by US ranking 2025. So it's consecutively 6 years. So it's a place to study at the same time to live in, because there's so many opportunities. For example, London is also global academic capital. As you could see, 3 of us are based in central London. So it's kind of like, its answer is sad, but London, they have more than 40 university and institutions across, and they are attracting around 400,000 international students across the globe. And also because of the global academic capital, a lot of top academic and researchers are there as well. So as an international student, London is truly a truly international environment. At the same time, you have a lot of opportunity to learn alongside at the same time with the best academic from the world. In terms of perspectives, which is something I would like to touch upon, and I was an international student as well, many years ago. So London enabled me to connect the dot between whether you're looking for maybe experiences, that work experience, or maybe something that you could like to explore a bit more about social activities. London, it's everything where you can look for it. And also London is the capital city as well. So you have a lot of London benefit networking activities for your career prospect. At the same time, while you're staying as a student, you can explore a lot of different activities as well. And then one more thing I would like to add is London, it's also a gateway for the across of Europe. Let's see, within a 2 hours, you can go to France, or 3 hours to Amsterdam. So this is something that you can explore on top of your academic journey as well. I'd like to talk about a bit of our locations. As you could see or not, you could see UCL, where they are situated at the center, at the heart of the literal academic hub, which is in Bloomsbury, where they're very close to the academic, the institutions such as British Museum, and also they are very close to a transport link, which is King Cross, London. And on the opposite side, you will see King's. We are the Riverside campuses. We have 5 campuses there, and they're all very close to the other central London locations, like especially maybe London's Eye, Big Ben, and so that, and all the way through the to the south, where you could see the Imperial. It's probably one of the safest area that you could say. It's South Kensington. And also you can see the Harrow, the parents can do the shopping. So yeah, with this note, I would like to pass it to Jake from Imperial to talk about deciding where to study.
All right. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming along. Great to see so many of you. So now, how many of you are considering studying in the UK? Hands up for me, please. Good to know. I'm glad because today's session is all about UK admissions. So I'm going to quickly talk a little bit more about make the decision, but also to help you decide what to study, where to go, and also how you're going to study. So obviously, a lot of you have already done some research, but obviously make that informed decision is crucial because it's important to choose the right course and the right institution, and also perhaps the right city for you as well. Come to study in one of those three institutions means it's going to be in the capital city, and London is not for everyone. It can be overwhelming and daunting, but also coming from Hong Kong, you're probably going to find London quite slow. So deciding when to study can depend on lots of different factors. I just want to quickly draw the main difference between the UK versus the rest of the world, including USA, Australia, Canada. But coming to the UK means that you will be studying highly specialized degree programs. Now, in the UK, we don't have a lot of general majors or general subjects in general. So mostly you will have to choose what you want to specialize in at the point of applying. Means that you will need to know what you want to focus on. You need to find out your interest. That also means your self-discovery normally happens before you come to the university. All three of us are world-class institutions. We offer highly specialized degree programs, whether that's going to be law, psychology, medicine, engineering. You will be stepping into the very specialized field of that chosen subject. Number two, this is all about duration. Because of the specialized industry we don't have many years of learning. So it will be fast-paced, and also students will be spending shorter in terms of learning the degree. So standard duration normally will be 3 years. Of course, on top of those, you can actually add on some of the additional elements such as a year abroad, or perhaps you can come to Hong Kong to work for a year. So things like this normally will be adding on to the duration as well. Overall, standard duration will be 3 years long. Entry requirement, this is also one of the key areas. Obviously, academically speaking, you guys will have to have the right level of qualification and also the subjects in order to be considered as eligible and qualified. All of us will be publishing our minimum entry requirements on our website. Again, this is essentially all transparent to all of you, means that you can basically find out whether you're eligible or not based on your predictions and also based on the subject you are learning and choosing at the school level. The beauty of UK admissions is that we're very subject and course specific. You know exactly what we're looking for, and we do tell you exactly and spell out exactly what we're looking for. And the last one, just want to say, because of teaching style can be very different. A lot of times when you choose university, because you probably want to go to London, you probably want to go to a specific location for that type of training. But the content you are learning probably will be very similar to each other, but the way you are taught will be very different. In the UK, we focus on small size teaching, means that you will be having lots of interactions with academics, but also having like a level of engagements with your peers as well. So it will be much more interactive environment for students to thrive in and also learning from each other. So collaboration normally is a very natural process as well. And also, we're very different institutions. All three of us obviously share very similar qualities, but also we're very different. Imperial, myself, we are a specialist. We don't teach any social sciences. We don't teach any humanities. We also don't teach any liberal arts. All students on campus are scientists. We're a specialist institution. The other two, UCL, King's College, they are multi-faculty university. They teach a broader range of subjects, spans across all different sorts of fields. That also means your student life, student experience, community, and also your style of learning will be different because you'll be hanging out with very different people. Obviously, there will be campus-based universities and also city-based universities. So whether you choose city-based or campus-based, whatever specialist or non-specialist you're choosing, is all entirely up to you because you are choosing what's suitable for yourself. Now, In terms of applications, you probably already know about UCAS since you have the intention of going to the UK. So UCAS, this is essentially the centralized platform where you actually apply for UK universities from. So UCAS stands for University College Admission Services, where you actually can submit your application electronically to UCAS. With UCAS, you have 5 choices. This big 5 is important because you can either choose 5 different institutions for one program you want to apply for, or one subject field you want to apply for, or you can choose 5 different courses at one university. So however you want to do this, you have 5 choices. And they also have very hard deadlines. These deadlines are entirely controlled and set by UCAS. Universities do not have any control over that, by the way. So if you do miss the deadlines, that means you will have to wait another year to reapply. So strictly speaking, for medicine, dentistry, vet science, those deadlines normally comes in a little bit earlier, so usually around October time. 15th October, this is the strict deadline for medicine students, so you will have to submit your application by that date. And for other courses, you will have time to wait until the following year. Normally it will be mid of January in 26. It will be on the 14th January 2026. There will be lots of other elements we're looking for, including predictions, obviously. This is what I talked about earlier on, and also additional hurdles such as admissions exams. So when you apply for competitive universities, to choose fairly between candidates, particularly between strong candidates, can be incredibly challenging. So to really choose fairly, what we normally do is to introduce additional hurdles to really assess who you are and how suitable you are. So now usually these are presented in 2 different forms. One is admissions exam that includes law for LNAT, medicine, UCAT, engineering, ESAT, mathematics, TMUA, things like this. So again, all of the information will be published and shared on all websites, and the course-specific beauty is really you actually can see this directly on the website. But do not miss the deadline. Again, similar to UCAS deadlines, if you do miss the key dates, you will have to wait another year to reapply. And also, interview is another form of choosing fairly between strong candidates as well. So because we'd like to see who you are, motivation behind it. And also, speaking of interviews, of course, this is all about testing your soft skills as well. How you come across and how you communicate, how you articulate, and how you deal with conflicts. Last but not least, personal statement. This is essentially interview on paper, and which is I'm going to hand it over to UCL to talk a little bit more about the new format of personal statement.
Thank you, Jake. Excellent. So you're all familiar with the personal statement. In the good old days, it used to be one personal statement, 4,000 characters. UCAS, in its infinite wisdom, has now split that into 3 separate questions. The character limit remains the same. The focus of the personal statement remains the same, but they've just made it a little bit more easier for you to navigate your way and provide answers. So overall character count stays at 4,000 characters. Each question you need to have minimum 350 characters to go with. So the first question they do ask for is, why do you want to study this course of the subject? What is it the universities really want to know here? Essentially, we just want you to evidence your curiosity, interest, and knowledge of your subject area. And some of the things you might want to address in this question are, what are your motivations for studying, the knowledge of the subject area to which you're applying, and also demonstrate how this particular course or subject area is a good fit for your future plans. Broadly, that is what we would expect you to address out here. And so you need to think through these points very carefully and evidence, I repeat again, your curiosity, your interest, and knowledge of the subject area. The second question is again fairly straightforward and simple to understand. You're looking at how have your qualifications and studies helped you prepare for this course. Now, what you need to be very mindful of here is don't repeat what's already there in terms of the predicted grades that your counselors would provide the subjects that you're studying. But what we want to know is focus on what is the most relevant and recent subjects that you're doing and how that translates into your interests. That's what we're looking for. This is for you to show the transferable skills you gain by undertaking the qualifications that you're pursuing. So that's very important for you to keep in mind. What we are looking for is how do these relate to your chosen subjects? What relevant transferable skills have you acquired? And do you have any additional educational achievements? That is what you would be populating in your second question. The third question is pretty straightforward and simple to address again. And you're looking at what else have you done to prepare outside of education, and how have you found these experiences useful? Be very mindful. Again, these examples should be reflective and demonstrate your further suitability for the course. So there are again 3 broad principles that you need to try and adhere to when you're trying to answer this question. Reflect on your personal life experiences or responsibilities that you have. Reflect on what skills you've gained by undertaking these activities. Do you have any work experience? Have you done any voluntary work? These are the kind of things. Any employment history? What have you acquired? What skills have you acquired by undertaking this? Talk about your hobbies, your supercurriculars, your extracurricular activities. Think about sports, community work, and stuff like that. Activities outside of the college that essentially showcase, everything has to showcase why you're a good fit for this course. And what are the things you do? Some of the things you can show as an example of doing stuff outside the classroom. You're looking at tutoring, you're probably mentoring, you're shadowing, getting some experience to that effect. How does that contribute towards the subject area, the experience that you've gained, the skills you're gaining by undertaking those activities? How do those relate to the subject area? So in effect, if you've been practicing the old single essay, you've just broken that essay down into 3 separate questions and you're answering the same thing, but it's just giving you a little bit more focus and specializing in your answers, making sure that you're answering each and every evidence. And you're backing it with evidence. It's not just giving us a listing, but you're just backing it with evidence of what you've gained and how that makes you suitable. Please treat this very seriously. This is probably your best opportunity to demonstrate your interest in the subject, your knowledge of the subject area, and treat it like a job application. The only difference is you're applying to a university, and this is going to be read by 5 different admissions tutors, in most cases, if you apply to the 5 universities, and they'll all look at it from different angles. And this is the one chance you get. Leave aside your predicted scores, your test results. This very often is read, and at the 3 institutions here, you can be assured your personal statement is read and it will be paid attention to. There might be other institutions that may not give it weightage, but we certainly do, and it's a very integral part of your application. There is a lot of misinformation on the media, the social media. Also in Hong Kong, we were recently informed that there are organizations saying that this change is traumatic, it's drastic, it's dramatic, it's equivalent of the end of the world coming, and that they can help you write a personal statement. You don't need that. You're going to fantastic schools, you've got great counselors. The personal statement is about you. You have to be true to yourself. Speak to your parents, speak to your siblings, speak to your relatives or your counselors and teachers, because they see you with a different lens, and write about yourself and how you're suitable for it. You don't need to copy, you don't need to get external help. You can do it yourself. But the most important thing to remember, start working on this very early. Don't leave it till the last stage and you're scrambling around to complete a personal statement or writing it for the sake of completing it. Start planning. I'm sure your school has an internal, you have an early deadline, right, for them to get this. When is that? Would that be December, November? Oh, there you go. That's your first alarm bell to go off. So make sure you work on that. You will go through multiple drafts, so don't worry about it. Some of the students I've asked said they've gone through about a half a dozen to a dozen drafts before they get it. So you will go through various iterations, refine it, retune, pay close attention to what you've written there, and take on board suggestions. Don't make immediate changes based on the feedback you get. Reflect back on it. Remember, it has to be about you, and it's just about you. It's a personal statement for a very specific reason. With that, I'm going to hand over to Jake to briefly introduce Imperial. Then it'll be followed by May, and then I'll come and talk about UCL. Thank you.
Hello again. So, Imperial College London Anyone been to Imperial in this room? You have visited us? Good to know. Good to know. And anyone who's not been to us, but you have heard of us? Oh, good. Thank you. So, Imperial College London, as I said, we are very different, but also similar to the other two institutions. We are also one of the most prestigious universities. Academically speaking, we are very research focused, but also incredibly unique in its own way. Imperial is unfortunately not for everyone. It is very unique and creative and innovative in the way we teach and also the way we operate. We are currently the UK's only university that specializes in teaching science, engineering, medicine, and business programs. So you could actually call us STEM B institution. We're also a specialist. So that means as a university, we're a very focused university. We're only looking for students who can bring that kind of like-minded spirit into the community where people find easier and natural to collaborate, and also students can work with others. Of course, coming to Imperial means you will have to study very hard, probably even before you come to Imperial, to be able to ace your exams. And also because of the high selective admissions at Imperial, we're looking for qualities beyond what your exam grades can tell us. There are big fives I want to share with you guys. Number one, beyond your grades, we're looking for students who are innovative and also have entrepreneurial mindset. Now, think of yourself as a gardener. You may be growing plants, flowers, vegetables, but as an entrepreneur, you're also looking for new ways, new tools, and experiments, maybe creating your own new fertilizers. At Imperial, we value students who can use different tools to see growth and also use problems as opportunities to solve problems. It's a community of problem solvers, but also it's a community where people come up with new ideas and to make things commercialized and useful. Number two, beyond degrees, we're also looking for students who are driven by real world impact. Think of yourself as a chef. You're not just cooking for yourself, you're also cooking for the entire community. You're nourishing people, but also you're coming out ways of maybe dealing with poverty, feeding people, and also making sure everyone gets your food. So coming to Imperial, we value students who actually can really driven by the real world case studies, understanding how you are learning and doing will be making a real tangible difference in the real world. Number three, we're also looking for students who are teachable, independent-minded. Coming to Imperial means you should show a good level of curiosity and also to be independent-minded enough to come up with your own ideas and theories. Rather than parroting what other people are saying, I want you to really come up with your own ideas and find out what you think about the scenario rather than mirroring what other people are saying. For example, if you're going to be learning to ride a bike, you may have the advice about how to balance, how to pedal. But once you got the hang of it, I want you to really learn about how to explore new ways on your own. At Imperial, the way you learn science is exactly that approach. Number four, this is all about your academic resilience. So our degrees obviously are designed to be very rigorous, demanding, but also academically rewarding in a way. Think of it like you are going hiking. Maybe you are going to be very tired. There will be very steep slopes, maybe horrible weather. Maybe you're going to be drenched. Maybe there will be some rocky path. But regardless, you're not going to stop because you want to go to the top of the mountain to enjoy the beautiful view. Studying at Imperial is very similar to that. You will be coming across lots of difficulties, stumbling blocks, but also potentially sometimes you'll be failing quite often. But that's okay because we are looking for students who are comfortable with discomfort. Coming here means you need to have a good sense of resilience to handle and cope with the rigor of our degree. And you're prepared and willing enough to work hard at Imperial. Number five, this is all about interdisciplinarity and how you work, collaborate with other people. I want you to think about a music band where you have the drummer, guitarist, pianist, the singer, all of the members play instruments and they can bring unique, amazing values to the music band. But it will be far greater if they actually can work together. And at Imperial, we equally value the collaboration. Collaboration is important to us because I want to do things with other people and also to be able to come up with new ideas with other people. So we encourage students to combine science, engineering, medicine, business to work together, for example, to deal with complex problems, whether that's about healthcare, climate change, cancer development, or maybe some kind of T-cell immunology, public infection diseases, whatever it may be. All these complex problems are normally done by collaboration. So this is basically what we're looking for beyond what your school exams can tell us. And at Imperial, of course, we are very international because currently we have 62% of students are coming from outside the United Kingdom. It's an incredibly diverse community together joining. But also, if you don't really have also experiences of dealing with specialists at Imperial, why don't you come to see us during the summer? Because we do run Global Summer School at Imperial, where you actually can enjoy that kind of true, authentic vibe of Imperial as a community. On that note, I'm going to pass over to Kings.
All right, so let's start with the beautiful aerial photo of our main campus. This is our Strand campus. It's home to our School of Law, which is called Dixon Point School of Law. This used to be a royal palace, but it's almost a house. So where if you're studying law, you will be based at our Strand campus. So King's is considered a university with rich in history and legacy. We've been around for a very, very long time. It's almost 200 years. The university has been established by King himself, King George, and the Duke of Wellington in 1829. So since our founding, our value, our ethos are believe in that education and research should serve the community. So we've been carrying this ethos, this value through our research, and also our education is all about contributing to the society, community. And we have a really, really kind of like what I would say is a bold ambition, which is to make the world a better place. I would like to kind of like clarify why I'm saying this to make the world a better place is because this is how we kind of like see what we're looking for students who are going to come and study at King's. So for us, we're more about students who are curious to kind of like solve the problems in different ways. It's kind of like entrepreneurial mindset from a different perspective, maybe from the different field, from the political perspective, from the medical field, from the art and humanity. So it's kind of like someone who is curious about trying to solve the problem, and also what are you going to bring to the King's community. So this is something that we're looking for as a quality to come and study at King's. And also, we are comprehensive university. We are diverse, large and diverse university, which means we have 10 faculties in total, ranging from art, humanity, law, and we have quite branch of life sciences, which include medicine, bioscience. Also, we have a fantastic dental institute, and also King is home to the world, the oldest nursing school in the world, which is our Florence Nightingale School of Nursing and Midwifery. And also, what we do, because we are a large and diverse university, and we are fortunate enough to work together from different departments. So our academic, our professional team, they're working together and offer a very interdisciplinary approach to the course that what we offer to our students. So for example, you could kind of like study or maybe participate, be involved in the research where 2 or 3 different disciplines are combined together. For instance, you can study psychology, and also you can study psychology with criminology, where 2 departments are combined together. Psychology department, also our law department are combining together. And this year we newly launched a few programs, which is kind of like artificial intelligence. At the same time, you can study the philosophical underpinning. So I think with this note, I would like to pass to UCL to talk more about UCL. And
So that's a picture of our main quad and the portico on a wonderful sunny day. And yes, sun does shine in London. Though when I left, it was 0 degrees and it was cold and foggy. But yeah. How many of you visited UCL? Okay, that's quite a few of you. So you must have gone past that building or walked through the gates. Fabulous. So just to give you a bit of background, since its establishment in 1826, UCL has consistently championed independent thought by educating some of the finest minds on the planet. And today, it's evolved into a large multidisciplinary university with strength and depth across the academic spectrum, covering a wide range of subject areas. And it's consistently been at the top end of various rankings and tables. This year was particularly special to us. It was a year where we never expected to have 2 Nobel Prize winners in a week, taking our tally of Nobel Prize and Nobel laureates amongst our alumni and staff to 32. We do have a Nobel laureate from Hong Kong, the late Professor Sir Charles Kao. For those of you who are familiar, you will recognize him. He is the father of fiber optic communications. It is thanks to his research. He obtained his PhD at UCL and won a Nobel Prize for physics. It is thanks to that we enjoy the high-speed communications and whatever next iteration of the 3G, 5G, 7G that's going to come up. One of the key things we look at, and it's the 2 twin principles that have underpinned UCL as an institution, is academic excellence combined with a rigorous world-class research to solve problems of the day. And so research is quite important. We ensure that we operate what is called a connected curriculum, where we are able to train students to understand the importance of research. It's not just for a career in academia, but the research skills that you gain will stand you in good stead later in life. So you will be required to undertake research, independent research, often under supervision of one of our academics. You do a group project and you'll be required to present and demonstrate your learning. And that's absolutely critical. And we passionately believe that it is in training to teach you how to think and not what to think. That's the critical thing that we look at it. We do have a wide range of programs, as I mentioned previously, in excess of 400 undergraduate degrees. And that gives us a fabulous opportunity to try and give you a multidisciplinary approach to your learning experience at UCL. So there are opportunities for you to take modules and options from other subject areas. There are opportunities to work across spectrums to do your research, your fieldwork, your trips, etc. And we've also opened our campus in UCL East and Stratford in the Olympic Park. How many of you watched the London 2012 Olympics? A few, yes. Probably some of you are wondering what I'm talking about. But that was quite special. That is when the Queen of England jumped out with James Bond from a helicopter. So broadly, somewhere in that area, that's where our building is. But we're doing a lot of wonderful new programs there, a wide range of programs looking at sustainability. We're looking at AI and robotics. We've also had our wonderful academics come together with a new program, philosophy and computer science. Who would ever think of that? So it's that kind of creativity that we bring about. It's the kind of academic rigor that we help you underpin your learning. And we make a lot of impact on you as an individual, and we expect you to contribute to the institution. UCL is not a place for coasters. You have to be a self-motivated, driven person to succeed there. And that's the environment you'll be coming into. And that is what we expect our applicants to have. And one of the key things you need to also take into account is the history, the rich history and tradition that we bring. Next year is a very special year for us. We'll be entering our bicentenary year. And we've got lots of activities planned to celebrate that and make sure that we lay down a legacy that will continue for centuries to come as an institution of world-leading impact. With that, I'm going to stop so that we get time to come around and have question and answers. These are our websites. I'm sure you're already familiar. If not, you can get them off or get a picture of the slide. And I also want to let you know that in March, the week commencing the 17th of March, we will be having 3 webinars, a webinar featuring engineering, a webinar for medicine, and for law. It's still under the TBC, and I do apologize for that. We are just trying to nail down our academics. We've got almost all of them signed up. Once we finalize the arrangements and the registration links, we will inform your counselors. So please make sure that if you're interested, sign on, come on board. You'll have the course leads, you'll have academics there answering your questions. So you'll have about an hour and a half session. So it's a great way for you to get some of your doubts clarified, get a better insight from the academic perspectives as well. So with that, I'm going to bring an end to this session. So thanks for your time. What we're going to do now is we'll just take a few minutes. My colleagues, Jake and May, will be going into different rooms to set up. I'll be out here. I'll be joined by my alumnus, Andrew Ng, out here. So just come along to the tables, to the institutions, come and ask us your questions, clarify your doubts. Each of us will also have a QR sheet at our table. I know you're probably tired of filling out forms, but I do crave your patience and indulgence. Do fill this form out. It's a generic form. You can indicate the institutions from which you wish to receive information, and we will get in touch with you. You could ask for information from 1, 2, or 3, or none. If you just don't want it and you say, I'm done with QR codes and forms, that's absolutely fine. No hard feelings there. And enjoy the rest of your evening. And I hope you get all your answers. Thank you.